Hi, in this video I want to discuss a topic of validation and how we're all looking for some kind of validation, how that's many of our motivations, and like I mentioned before, that motivation is a significant one. It's to avoid feeling insecure or whatever it is, to feel like you're not alone. I think we all seek validation, at least to distract ourselves. We like validation for many reasons. Many reasons. It makes us feel more confident in what we believe. Other people believe it, mob mentality. More people believe it, therefore it's more correct. You feel more like what you're saying is along the lines of something correct, right, significant. It means more in the end, and that's the point that validation seems to satisfy. We all know the high you get when you hear someone else say the exact same thing as you, right? They say something you believe, and they say it with such, vindication, with such will and such power, and you know that it's exactly what you believe. Like a powerful, song or whatever it is that has a nice hook in it or something. You get that powerful sense they're saying something that has a nice melody or whatever it is, a powerful painting that depicts something you like, validation, some way you can at least interpret it, and have that interpretation, your own subjective interpretation of it, at least give you that perception that it's something that you can relate to. And that's how many of us thrive. We thrive on validation, feeling like at least we're accepted in some way. And validation, in many ways, is correlated with acceptance. We feel accepted in circumstances where we're often validated. But oftentimes, in many cases, validation can mean they validated your fear of what may occur in many ways. In many ways, it can work against you, and validation can work either way. But generally speaking, validation is it means nothing much to begin with because it's to avoid a negative, but it means something in that it has some kind of meaning. It gives you some kind of high, some kind of buzz where you feel like you are one with at least some idea that you may feel is right, or some kind of cause you may feel powerful against, of validation, vindication, will, feeling like you're part of some kind of whole. Like I mentioned before, mob mentality, feeling like they say it, you say it, you all feel like you're saying the same thing. You feel only that you're not, you're a big and powerful force, but you feel like you're going to get the job done. You feel like you're going to get something done based on what you believe or whatever it is, whatever you're trying to do. Or someone validates, oh, you're not quite so ugly, you're kind of good looking, or whatever it is, and you thought you were ugly. Many of these things can be useful in helping a person that may be, I don't know, insecure or whatever, but it's more about validation, how that can be a useful tool in making a motivation. In many cases, like I mentioned, it's a motivation technique. It's something that's very useful in motivating people and motivating and getting ideas across. And validation, a lot of people do this stuff. They go on, and in many cases, that's why I've joined this community, is to validate myself and my beliefs based on what I do. Get on here to validate my beliefs. I like watching other people's videos. I like feeling like a part of a group because at least I feel like I'm getting the job done. And it feels like a very useful thing to do to get that job done. So validation is very useful, and it helps, and it not only helps motivate you, but it helps you feel like you're not alone. And motivate you towards avoiding a negative to prevent more negative, and it helps you escape a negative where you feel like you're not accomplishing as much. So it's always useful in one way or another. So it's always something that can be used and abused. In many cases, it can be for you or against you. So either way, it's one of those things that can be either positive or negative, but generally speaking, validation works as an insecurity, uses your insecurity to feel like you need to feel like you're as a whole. That high. Or they say something, you feel like you're part of a group based on a belief or an idea you have. And we can understand that's very useful in many circumstances. So validation, validating either positive or negative beliefs to feel either more positive or more negative. So actually, this might be the shortest video I make. So, validation, a very simple concept, and I can always mention it in another video. So if I have to mention it in some other video or some other idea, I'll mention it next time. So thank you, and until next time, validate yourselves.